tired.
I have like the weirdest like headache going on right now. Like I woke up and I was like laying there and it was fine. And like as soon as I like sat up, it was like instant headache. I'm like, well, this is gonna be a great day.
Did you get wasted last night?
No.
No Wednesday bender?
No, it's usually Monday.
Hey, on the good news, did you see what we have for lunch today?
No.
Egg rolls.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Just egg rolls?
But like big. These are like burrito egg rolls apparently.
From where?
I don't know from where, but I remember I was really excited when I heard about it.
Mine's?
It might be.
Mine's Deli?
Yeah, it might be.
I feel like that's where everyone usually goes.
Yeah, they're like, I guess, big, giant burrito-sized egg rolls.
And that's all just egg rolls?
I think there's like rice and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Too. But like, no, we're just, I mean, wait, what's wrong with just egg rolls? I've done that before.
I guess I just never, that's usually like a side. But
yeah.
if, I mean, you're talking like burrito-sized egg rolls, I mean.
Do you like spring rolls or egg rolls more?
Egg rolls.
Same.
Yeah.
Spring roll, I do not like shrimp in my spring rolls.
Yeah, I guess like I've never actually had like a legit spring roll though, like with stuff in it. Usually it's always just like a vegetable like spring roll that's gets what thrown in.
Big Pot has. They have I don't like them.
No?
Because it also, whatever they wrap them in, it just straight up looks like a condom.
Oh, like
it looks
the rice paper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like the way they do it, it looks like...
Look at it like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it looks like all the vegetables and little shrimpies are just like in a condom. It's like freaking, what would you like, Trojan or Durex for your spring roll?
Well, anyway, I'm talking about all of that stuff. Welcome back to the Anovia Wheels podcast, Between the Spokes. Welcome. And we got something a little fun for you guys. If you want to drop a comment down below, if you're watching this on YouTube or wherever, I don't think you can drop comments on Spotify.
If you're listening on Spotify, shoot us a message on Instagram.
That, or go to YouTube and leave a comment. So we want you guys to just ask us any questions. We're going to start a little segment, I think, at the beginning of each episode now, or some point in the middle of each episode, to answer your guys' questions. Take a couple minutes and see what you guys want to know, and then hopefully get some answers out there for you guys, because, you know, I know a lot of people are waiting on specific wheels to come in stock.
We are
Trust me, we are
personally. For real.
It's been a roller coaster of emotions. They're on their way, but the ship broke or something.
They are on an ocean vessel right now.
Yeah.
Getting closer to us every second.
Man, there is not a slower mode of transportation, I swear to God.
Actually, I don't think there is.
No.
I think this is the slowest.
Yeah, I could walk.
If we put them on a plane, each wheel would probably cost you guys like $2,000.
Yeah, because it's like $1,000 just to ship it.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
It's
like
crazy.
it was like $1,100 like for a pallet of like 6 of them,
yeah.
I think, to ship.
It's crazy.
It's absolutely incredible. But anyway, we're not talking about stupid shipping costs.
Wait, who are you? You didn't say who we are.
I'm Gels.
I'm Sam.
Hi. I always forget that part.
Ryan's behind the camera. I'll introduce him for you guys. So what are we talking about today, Gels?
We are to be talking about our favorite video games, more specifically racing games, and if we want to throw some other ones in there, why not?
I feel like this could be a part one, because I feel
could be a rabbit hole of...
Why don't we do today, like, racing games?
Okay.
Because if we do all video games, we could be here for 3 episodes.
Yeah, I think, where were we? I think we were, when Dakota and I were heading to check out that Civic, we were talking about that, and then... we play this card game on Wednesday nights now.
Oh, yeah.
It's all like racing.
What's it called again?
It's called World Auto Racing.
That's right.
You just check it out. Super cool card game. It's like the style is super neat. Like it's very like kind of nostalgic in a sense of like Dakota was telling me that the card stock that they use for their cards are the same ones that they use for Pokemon cards.
Oh, that's why
specifically so you get like the smell and like the feel.
That's cool.
Of like when you open up a pack. So it's like really crazy. So it's kind of like a Dungeons and, or not Dungeons and Dragons, but like a, why can't I think of the name? The really popular card game.
Magic the Gathering?
Magic, yeah. It's kind of like Magic the Gathering, but like with cars and racing.
That's cool.
And you install parts and stuff. It's pretty wild.
That's sick.
Yeah, so we've been playing that, but yeah, obviously as we're going and getting into conversations, it's a rabbit hole, so I hope you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right. So, talking about specific racing games.
Yep.
Now, how do you want to go about this? You want to go about like...
I think we can just
in order, or just kind of throw them out there and talk about them?
Throw stuff out there. The one that I feel like I have to start with, though, is what got me all started, and that's Gran Turismo.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I was a kid, we never had like a Nintendo or any sort of video game console until the PlayStation 1 came out. And it may have been out for a little bit because, I don't know. When I was a kid, I had no concept of what the fuck was going on in the world or like anything. I was like, video games are cool. And then one Christmas opened up like the big present my sister and I got, and it was a PlayStation 1. I'm like, whoa!
Nice.
And we each got 2 games.
Wow.
She got like Frogger.
Okay.
And
classic.
Yeah, something else, which
That could technically be considered a racing game.
technically it could.
There are cars.
There are cars, and you can lose by dying. And I got NFL Game Day.
Oh, I had that too.
98,
Yep.
I think. It was with Terrell Davis when he was on the cover. Also, I think those were better than Madden at the time, like the Game Day
Yeah, I
games.
never played any of the Madden games until like middle school, I think. But yeah, I had Game Day, and everyone's like, "What do you mean you have Game Day?" I'm like, "It's fun." I'm
Yeah,
like,
it's good. And then the other game I got was Gran Turismo.
Okay.
And I really, really liked cars. I thought they're cool, and then the car video game was cool, but I got frustrated at first with how hard it was.
Yeah.
Because I think my parents are like, oh, it's a racing video game, not the ultimate driving simulator. And frustration.
It's funny you say that because mine was literally like experience to begin with was literally the same. It was Gran Turismo. It was PlayStation 1. I don't even remember how we got the game because the case was all busted up. It was like a double case.
Oh yeah, is it Gran Turismo 1 multi-disc?
I think it was, and I only had one of the discs, and so I only ever remember playing like the first racetrack with like I think it was like an FB RX-7.
Okay.
Or like a Corvette
like
or something like that.
Savannah or whatever.
It was like a super old like car. I just remember, it was super hard. It was like the big curves and stuff like that, and like the banked corners, and I was just like, wow, this game's really stupid. It's got one, because I couldn't figure out how to navigate like the freaking like home screen or anything.
The menus in Gran Turismo 1 and 2 were cheeks.
Yeah, it didn't tell you anything.
No.
I'm like freaking 5 years old trying to like, oh, I just want to race cars. And it's like, yeah, you get this one car and this one track. Good luck.
Yeah.
And I literally thought that was a game. I'm like, this is the stupidest game ever.
Well, I remember, I know what track you're talking about. Because that was also the track on the demo disc, I believe, that like came with the PlayStation.
Gotcha.
And I just remember I didn't know like over half the cars because my concept of cool cars were like old school muscle cars. Yep. And I was like, what the hell is a Nissan Skyline?
These? Yeah.
And I'm like, it's fast as fuck though. Like, damn.
It was kind of crazy. I would say that is what a lot of those like games and obviously movies and stuff are what opened me up to like all these different other cars. Yeah. And I'm like starting to talk about my parents like, what the hell is that? Like, how do you know that? Yeah. Like, and it's like, well, the game. Yeah. Like, it was like the same thing, small town northern Wisconsin. It's like everyone's running around with like, 69 Camaros and Corvettes and, anything else, old school classic American muscle that they've restored for the last 30 years. So it's like, yeah, those Japanese cars weren't a thing. So.
Now, I remember getting Gran Turismo 1, I played a bit, and then I ended up getting Gran Turismo 2 at some point, and that one I put way more time into. Sure. And I remember I liked the endurance races because you could win just a lot of money. Sure. But the problem is I couldn't sit for a whole time in an endurance race. I did what I think everyone did is I'd like pause it and like turn the TV off and like go to bed, but leave the PlayStation on and then come back, and like that was a process. But I remember I won one of the endurance races, and I think it gave you like the Castrol like Supra or something like that just like, I didn't know it at the time, but it just decimated everything. And you do like the high speed ring races, and it was just like, I would just do those over and over and over, and I just would like amass this just huge amount of cash.
Damn. I never had a ton of experience with Gran Turismo outside of literally that first one that I had apparently like half the game for and never knew how to navigate. However, we had like a movie rental place back home that also rented out like video games and stuff, and like that was like the weekend thing. You'd go there on a Friday because they're closed Sunday, so you get a free day. Additional day. Yeah. So like you rented for the weekend, and I remember I think it was like Gran Turismo 2, 3, whatever one was for like the PS2.
I think 3.
I think it must have been 3.
To be honest, after 2, I don't think I played a Gran Turismo.
Yeah, so it was like, I think I remember renting 3 for like one weekend, and I just, again, could not figure out any of like the menu stuff. And I'm just like, this is dumb. I hate this because on the other hand, I was spending a lot of time playing Need for Speed.
Oh yeah, like the original like Need for Speeds?
So no, missed out on that part too. So I think I had like some experiences with like the hot pursuits and stuff like that, because I'd like go over to like someone's house and they'd like have it on their computer. Yeah, like, hey, check this out. And
literally
it's like wow, this is kind of neat. You know,
you're using like the keyboard.
Yeah,
like
you're driving like a Lamborghini. Yeah, like the old like freaking like giant mechanical keyboards. Yeah, and so I was like, oh okay, but I think I got it for like Christmas or something like that. It must have been Christmas. I got Need for Speed Underground. And I remember that was like the first like racing game that I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
What is this? Because it was like, I don't know, I must have been like the right age. I must have like, you know, actually able to comprehend things. Yeah. And all that stuff. So I remember getting that, and I was just like, I dove like head first into all of that stuff. Yep. And I was like, man, this is the coolest thing ever, being able to like customize things, and
that was
the street racing stuff, and just like the storyline, I guess. It was just like, dang, this is wild.
Yeah. I followed a similar path, but I also at the same time Gran Turismo was really into the Driver series of games.
I never played those.
So Driver 1, Driver 2 I really enjoyed them because it was like open world on the streets, and the physics I thought were really, really good, where the cars had body roll, and it seemed like the developers really cared about what the car models looked like and like stylizing stuff. Sure. But yeah, so that and Gran Turismo happened at the same time, but I would say a similar thing. What really threw me over the edge was Need for Speed. Sure. And I think it was the same like perfect cocktail of like age. I was just like watching the Fast and Furious movies. Yep. And then music. So I think at the time when Need for Speed came out was when I was really starting to like get into music. Yep. And the soundtrack for that game, I don't care what you think about it. TI 24s, it is iconic. Except all those songs are censored in the game. And then when I heard the real version, dude, I was like, this is naughty. Like, whoa, like, these are so bad words.
Funny because like it was that and the soundtrack for Underground 2, and I was just like, I heard the real versions, and I was like, wow. Yeah. I was like, that is so much different.
What was it, Need for Speed Underground 1 that had Lil Jon, East Side Boys as the opening song?
Oh, I'm going to get roasted for this, but I think it is.
I think so, because I remember the real
because
version.
You're like rolling through like the tunnel or whatever. Yep.
Yeah, I remember like when I heard the real versions, like swept, drop down my balls, like whoa, like what is happening?
It's like you go back and like play the game or like listen to like the censored versions, like this is awful. Like, it's almost worse than the original, like the regular one.
But to me though, what really made those games good was the customization. Yeah, because it gave me a sense of progression that the other games didn't. Yep. Where I was like, I don't know, it was cool buying cars and like throw some wheels on them, right? But I don't know, like you never really saw them because the cars were not this big focal point like they were in Need for Speed.
Yeah, it was like they actually gave some, like you said, some sort of like progression path to go through. It's like you needed to upgrade the car to beat the next race, or you needed to like, you know, put modifications on it to like look cooler for like a certain bonus or something. Yep. And that was one thing that I think Underground 2 did really well, is because they incorporated like the open world stuff, and then they threw even more of a storyline into it. So it was like you got to get it like on the cover of the magazines, and to be able to get on the cover of the magazines, your car had to have like so many star like appearance thing to it. So it was continuing to modify that. And I remember, I think like the 3000 GT was like the best car you could get in that game. It was like the last one you unlocked, and it like automatically like had like so much good stuff to it. Oh really? Oh man, I raced the hell out of that thing.
I don't remember that like 3000 GT. I remember a lot. The thing that I always thought was crazy when you're shooting Underground 2 was the SUVs.
Yeah, and like all the audio shit you could put in the back.
I love how you would like buy the audio system and it would subtly change like the bass of like the audio. And I was playing through like a tube TV, like,
yeah, you're like,
shitty
wow.
speakers. I was like, whoa, I'm thumping.
Yeah, and you could like select like all the brands and stuff like that, and it was super cool.
Yep.
And it's like you could see like the subs and the speakers in the back, the TVs, and.
But that was so influential because I remember I always wanted Alpine. I always thought it was the coolest audio. So when I bought speakers like a month ago for my 240, I was like, I want Alpine speakers.
Damn, Need for Speed.
Product placement's freaking work, people. For real. Like,
Need for Speed got you since you were the little baby.
They did. Like, baby Sam was like,
Alpine was like, we're going to make people buy our speakers when they're 20-some years old.
Or 30.
Or 30, that's right. I forgot about that. I'm sorry.
Thanks. The other part about Need for Speed Underground 2 that was very influential for me, downhill drifting.
Yeah, they did add that.
Yeah.
I forgot, because I don't think they had drifting in the first one.
They didn't.
And then they added it in the second one.
And it was mountain drifting. And this was when I was like, whoa, this is so cool.
That was Carbon.
Was it?
Carbon had the downhill.
You're right.
But Need for Speed Underground 2 had the first drifting, I think. And it was like parking ramp stuff. Yeah.
You're right, yeah.
But yeah, Carbon had like the downhill battle stuff, which was super fucking hard.
That was really, yeah. It was good though. It was really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then just I think the aesthetic of Need for Speed, where it was all at night. All of the racing games were like during the day. For the most part, like Gran Turismo has some like night stages or whatever, but it was at night and it was perpetually raining. So like the underglow was like reflecting off stuff.
Looked cool.
Yeah, and I was like, this is sick.
Yeah, I specifically remember pouring a ton of time into those two. I was like, man, this is super cool. Like we would like go somewhere, like bring the PlayStation and like hide it, and even though it was like the big giant PlayStation 2, and that I'd played Need for Speed Underground, and like me and my friends would like race each other all the time and build like just these crazy cars, and that was super neat. The customization was cool. This is literally the reason that I wanted to own an RX-8 is that game. Oh, really? Because like I had like a red one in the game, and I was like, man, this is the coolest car. I don't know what it is. This car is so cool.
Sick.
And so. Yeah, that one holds a lot. And then I would say, though, probably the game that I spent the most time in, whether that was just because I liked it a lot or it was just really difficult to get past certain things and it was more of a grind, was Need for Speed Most Wanted.
I didn't really play Need for Speed Most Wanted.
Oh, man. You and Dakota both.
So what happened is I ended up playing, we don't have to spend a lot of time on this because these are not like popular games, Colin McRae Rally. Sure. Where it was the one where he had the Ford Focus, which is his rally car. I played a fuck ton of that. And to this day, I love rally racing, and like not a lot of people like know that, but like I played the absolute shit ton out of that game. And that was, I think, around the time that Most Wanted was coming out, but also I think when Most Wanted came out, was that when Forza hit the scene?
Probably, yeah. I would say I don't remember specifically the years that Forza came out, but I remember it was like during that time.
Or was that during Halo?
It might have been more. So I remember like I had Forza 3 for my 360.
Okay.
And then obviously since then.
Because I did take kind of like a little hiatus away from I always loved racing games, Adam, but like I would go and play like shooters or whatever.
Yep. But yeah, there's a path at some point that split.
Yeah. And I have played Most Wanted, and like, man, I wish I would have like gotten into it.
Yeah, Most Wanted was crazy because again, it was like open world, different environment during the. Was there night on there too? I can't remember.
I thought there was.
Yeah, it might have been like kind of. It must have been. But yeah, the storyline was kind of cool. Like the progression again was neat. Like you're working your way. There was like the blacklist, so you had to like fight your way to the top, and that was really neat. But I remember specifically it was so hard about that game with the damn cops.
Oh yeah,
like they were so difficult, and like there was like to get to like the next person on the blacklist to like even unlock the races for. It was like you had to have like so many like milestones completed or so many bounty on your head or like something like that. So it was like one of the milestones I remember was like you have to have like 1 million bounty like pursuit, which means that you had to get to like the top like heat level or like tier of cops
and get away.
Like there's fucking supercharged Corvettes coming after you. There's like the Rhino police. There's helicopters. There's spike strips. There's roadblocks. I swear to God, I don't know if the game glitched or something, but there was a helicopter in the roadblock, and I hit it. I'm like, I literally I literally took out a helicopter.
Damn.
Because I just ran into it with my car.
That's realistic.
It never happened again, but I remember because like those pursuits would last like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And you're just like, okay, I hit it. I just need to escape now.
Right.
And it was like the most impossible thing.
Get me out of here.
They had like these things you could trigger to like make things fall down and like take out the cops and stuff. They were all gone. Like, the pursuit's been for 45 minutes. You're all over the map. Everything has been triggered. Yeah. It's like, what do you want me to do? Oh my God, that drove me nuts. It was the hardest thing because, like, I think it was multiple times I would hit what I needed and then get busted. And I'm just like, stop. Oh my God. My parents were yelling at me to stop screaming at the TV. I'm just like, you don't understand. I can hit with the cops.
Actually, I was thinking about it. I think what I was playing instead of Most Wanted was Midnight Club.
Also played a little bit of that.
Yeah.
I didn't get super into it, but like I remember I was like, man, this is different. Mm-hmm. The physics felt really different. They had like the bikes and stuff.
Yep.
They had like a lot more variety of cars. Like you can get like the old school like muscle stuff. You could get, some like hot rod stuff, and then they had like the tuner stuff too.
Yeah, and that's as the game, like the last version of Midnight Club, which was like Los Angeles Dub Edition, something else edition.
Yep, that's the one that I
was so good because there was so much content in there.
There was so much customization.
Yeah,
I remember like you could like select like at the time you could select like your tire size and like you could kind of adjust the offset a little bit. You could do like air suspension. I was like, damn, that's cool.
Yeah, it was a real like tuner's kind of paradise. But I think what they missed the mark on a little bit was the stylization that Need for Speed Underground had, like the consistent everything fit within stylization.
Yep.
I think it was a little bit more like realistic in a way, which doesn't work as well sometimes for video games when you're trying to do a certain thing.
Right, yeah, because like it felt more realistic, but then the overall concept was supposed to be like arcadey.
Yeah, and the physics, like driving physics, were super arcadey.
Yeah,
it was
like they were trying to be real. Like I remember everything in the game just felt like lofty.
Yeah,
like everything just felt like soft.
Going back actually to Need for Speed, one thing I loved about the Underground, the drag racing, was super fun.
Oh my God, that was. And then you'd always get to like the last part of it, and then a car would just sideswipe you.
And right before the finish line.
Like, yeah,
no,
that was
Monica.
We'll get to this game too, but I think Underground 2 was the first one that I just remember getting so upset. I'm just like, I get it. I crashed, and the slow-mo just like kept. I'm like, can we just get on with it already?
I want to go next. Yeah, the Need for Speed games I think were really good. The last one I really enjoyed I think was like Pro Street.
I was gonna say that is literally an underrated game of that series.
Yeah,
super underrated.
It came out at a really bad time.
Yeah,
because Forza was like taking over the world.
Yeah, Forza was taking over. Everyone was transitioning over to like Call of Duty because that was like blowing up. I still stuck with my PlayStation 2, so that's what I played it on. I think I had it for the Wii at one point.
Damn,
and it was super weird. I really enjoyed Pro Street. I thought it was a super cool concept because it's like, hey, we're taking it off of the street, but it's like, it was very like grassroots kind of stuff where I remember like the whole drifting thing. It's like you literally showed up in like a clapped out like Mark III Toyota Supra.
Yeah.
And like you were trying to, like it was literally like looked like it was falling apart. I'm like, that's super neat.
Yeah, I like the aesthetic to it, and I don't know, it was weird though because they try to do it so like this isn't illegal racing because like that became such a hot topic in society where it was like they're trying to actively combat it, which just made it uncool. But then when you play it, you're like, oh, this is like realistic. Like I'm not gonna go race on the street, but it'd be cool if I had a car to go.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, oh, well, it's not open world and all that stuff. I'm like, yeah, well, it's like Gran Turismo and Forza in a sense. Well, at the time before Horizon came out, but like, I was like, yeah, it's setting up like realistic courses. Now it's not based off of real places or anything, but like they are actual tracks that you race. And I remember like the drag racing in that game was super good. Like the cars would actually like do wheelies and stuff, and like you could build some like really crazy horsepower cars.
That was fun.
Like some of the bosses and stuff had some like really wild. I remember there was like a Mustang with like the first time I saw like one of those like flat deck like spoilers on the back.
Oh yeah, the drag wings.
I was like, damn, that is wild. Like I want that.
Yeah.
And it's like you can only get it like on that car. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, that game was super neat. Like the antagonist and stuff I thought was really good. It was just some cocky dude with a bunch of money, and you're like, I'm gonna take you out.
Yeah.
So it really was a good playthrough. I liked that one a lot. Super underrated.
That one was
game
good.
of the series.
But what really I think got me like really, really, really into wanting to learn more about cars was Forza.
Sure.
And the first Forza, because I remember when that came out, I liked Gran Turismo, but everything I didn't like about Gran Turismo, Forza had, which was customization. It kind of explained things to you better. So when it came into tuning, it was like, this is what dampening does. This is what anti-roll bar stiffness does. And it had the driving line, which I was like, oh,
you're gonna tell me where to go.
Yeah,
perfect.
And I'll get better. And like it just did so much and had a variety of cars, and it was just so good. I was like, and it wasn't as hard as Gran Turismo, because I don't think Forza's physics have ever been like as hardcore accurate. Right. But it's like just fun.
I would say Forza does a good balance for some of them. So, like 5 and 7 were kind of weird for physics for me, like the newer ones. I remember 5 specifically when it was like the first one I got for my 3, because as soon as I got my Xbox One, I'm like, I'm getting Forza 5, and I was like, man, this just feels weird.
I don't know if I played 5.
Yeah, 5 was the one with the P1 on the cover.
I have 7 for the so I stopped buying consoles and started doing PC stuff. So I think I have 7. Maybe I had 5.
6? 6 had the Ford GT.
I didn't have 6. I think I had 5.
Okay.
But the other thing that Forza doesn't do well is wheel support.
Yeah.
And that's what I think is, if you have a controller, it's super fun, it does it well. But if you have a wheel, it's not good. I don't care what you guys say. Like, it's not good.
No, we have the setup here at work that has Forza 7 on it, and it's just on like Xbox One, and we have not like the craziest, like, I think it's just a Logitech something, but like it's still like decent. And yeah, we play like project cars and stuff or any other things on there. It's like it feels really good.
Yeah.
And Forza just everything just feels like it's on an ice rink. Yeah. Like I don't know what it is. Everything, it's like you're just about to lose grip at any point.
Yeah, it's not good. But I think Microsoft knows that their audience was on controllers, and that's why I liked Forza 1 so much. Is like the controls felt really, really good.
And I remember when the latest Gran Turismo came out, it was like when like the freaking boom of like sim rigs was like going on.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, man, they're gonna knock this out of the park, and they did, because I've known people that have gone and bought wheel and like pedal setups. I know people that have had it, and they're like just waiting for Gran Turismo to come out, because they're finally waiting for like they're done with iRacing, they're done with this stuff. They want something like actually fun and like engaging to play versus just like a raw simulator. I think that one was really good. I think I've played it once, but I don't have a PlayStation, so I can't play it.
Yeah, I don't either. So yeah, I didn't play that, but I did play iRacing quite a bit, like when COVID was happening.
How was that?
I enjoyed it a lot because it was really competitive, where the way that they place you is with people that are very similar to your skill rank, and the way they penalize you for hitting people going off track, it forces you to like try. Yeah. And when you're in the cesspool of newbies, it can be pretty bad, but there's also like a huge variety of racing. And the racing I did the least of was actually like the circuit racing. I really enjoyed the trophy trucks. Yeah. And like circle track stuff was super fun. So it was just racing that I would never have done before. Yeah. It was really good, and the physics were fantastic. Yeah,
that's what I've heard. It's like it's so realistic as far as like the physics and like actual operations and everything, which is neat. But at the same time, sometimes I just want to play a fun racing game.
Well, what made me stop iRacing was you have to load into races.
Yeah.
And then at certain times.
Sure.
So if you're like, I want to grind out these trophy trucks.
It's literally like an event.
Yeah,
like,
and there might not be another race for 45 minutes. And then like you sit there and it's like, all right, well, what do I do? I mean, you don't have time to go do another race. And it's just like too much of a time investment. So lately, and I haven't jumped on it in a while, but Assetto Corsa has been.
I've also heard good things about that one.
I've actually never played actual Assetto Corsa.
You just mod the shit out of it.
Literally, I've only played the mods for drifting. And oh no, did the chair fall apart?
I got it.
You fixed it. Good job. That's the only version I've played, and it is so good and so realistic, where it 100% translates over. And then I got the Oculus for it.
Oh yeah, the VR support for that stuff.
That changes
next level.
Everything. I was like, whoa, I'm looking around like, I'm in a car. Like, it's crazy. And it also really makes you appreciate what the guys who make the car packs put into it, like all little details and stuff like that. So it's really cool.
Yeah, so when COVID was happening and everyone was going crazy with, being locked in the houses, they're like, oh, I want a sim rig set up or drive my car and I'll do all this stuff. I was like, new Microsoft Flight Sim's coming out. I kind of want to get like a flight setup, so I did. I bought like the yoke, throttle, and like rudder pedals and stuff, and I did that, and I was like, yeah, it's cool. I really, I like it. I think I played like X-Plane for first, and then once Microsoft Flight Sim came out again, I got that, and I got like dual monitor setup. We got like moved into our house and stuff, and I was like, it's fun, but I hate it how much I had to use the mouse
to like out of it.
Look around, because I'm like, okay, if I want to look at my instruments, I gotta like literally drag the mouse down and then like look back, and I'm like, there's just too much going on. So the VR support, whole next level, because you're literally like sitting in the airplane and you're just like, I can look and see, where I'm supposed to go down here and kind of just like move my eyes and like check out what I need. And like everything is like here. I don't have to take my hands off of it, so I can actually like fly the damn airplane. No, that the VR stuff for that, and of course like cars and stuff too, it's insane.
Actually kind of going back to some other games, what we didn't talk about was Forza Horizon, because that was, to me, it made like racing video games fun again.
It did. I think that was something that was much, much needed, because I think that those came out right about the time that Need for Speed was kind of just going through this weird phase. Yeah. Because I remember it was like Most Wanted, put a ton of time into. I think I had Carbon, and I was like, it's fun, but it didn't really like rope me in. And then Pro Street was fun, but like then it was like, they redid Hot Pursuit. Yeah. Which was cool. The graphics were really good. There's no modifications. Yeah. It was all stock, like supercars. Boring. And it's like, okay. And then like The Run came out. I was like, okay. Trash game. That was the worst Need for Speed ever. Ooh. I swear to God. I played it for like 20 minutes.
I didn't play any of these.
I'm like, this is so dumb. Like, it was so over dramatic. No modifications. It was like you're going 300 miles an hour on like these highways and just going. I'm like, this is stupid. Yeah. This is dumb. And so I like really started to follow like Need for Speed. I think a lot of people did too. And that was right about the time when Horizon came out. And I think what introduced me to that was, I think it was Horizon, it was either the first one or the second one was like the free game for the month or something like that when I was like in college. Yeah. And I was like, hey, that looks kind of cool. And I just remember like the opening sequence, the music, like the immersiveness of it, and just like, holy shit, I'm back into this. Yeah, like really cool. I was like instantly like, this is cool. Made me like feel good. Yep. Like I think it was you're like ripping like this Volkswagen Corrado like through the mountainside or something. I was like, this is insane. There's like stuff flying over. I'm like, I love this. I absolutely love this. And I think they've done a really good job on the Horizon games. Just not one of those ones where like I continue to play though. Like I play it, I enjoy it for like a couple weeks, and then it's like, all right.
That's kind of where I'm at. That I really do want to actually boot it back up. Yeah. Because I want to see like where things are at with it now. The thing that I really don't like about the latest one was, first of all, Microsoft, why the fuck didn't you go to Japan? Like, for real. Like, everyone was like,
the
let's go to Japan.
last 3 have felt so similar to each other.
I really struggled to enjoy the like British countryside as well, because I was like, oh, this sucks. Like, it was just, I was like not into it. And then Microsoft's like, where do you guys want to go next? And everyone's like, Japan. And they're like, cool, Mexico. And I'm like, no bueno. Like, this is, it's like, it was better than I thought. I'll say that. Like,
again, it was for some reason free. All the Horizon games I get are like free. Microsoft's like, here, play this. And it's like, okay.
Well, because it has probably all the microtransaction stuff built into it.
It's literally what it is. And it's so apparent.
Well, what really bugged me with the latest one was within the first, I don't know, hour, I had like all these supercars, hypercars, and I was like, like modifications are cheap as hell. I was like, I can just buy whatever I want. Like, there's no progression at all.
That was, it turned into, because I think what really made me, it was the first or second one, I can't remember. I think I played both, I'm pretty sure. But what really made me enjoy those ones was like, another one of those like underdog stories. Like, you came in, you were in the festival, you were fighting your way to the top. Like, you were like the guy, right? And it's like you were competing against other people, you were like proving yourself, and you were gonna get to the top. Like, that was the end goal. And you started, like I said, with like a Corrado, like, and you built your way up. I think it was like 3. I was like, oh man, because like I think 3 is like where the next evolution of the Horizon games came in, because that was Australia, right? Or was 3?
Where was 1 again?
1 was, I think, Colorado.
Okay.
2 was the British countryside. I could be complete. I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember which one was.
Anyway, so I remember it was whatever one was in like Australia, I believe, and it was like you were in charge of the event. I'm like, oh, okay, that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, you set everything up for everyone else, and you can create races. I'm like, that's freaking boring. I don't want to do that. I want to be in the races. Like, what do you? Like, I want to. Yeah, I want to prove myself. Like, what do you mean I'm in charge of everything? Like, this is stupid. And so I think, and since then, it's kind of been like that. Like, you're not actually in the festival. You're like owning it and like running.
You're like the top dog, and what? Yeah, I don't like that. But what I really think they did a good job with was the little events and challenges.
Yeah.
Because I had so much fun. Not so much with the latest one, but the Horizon before this, where I would have so much fun building cars for certain challenges. And I ended up making this GTR that was like fucking beast mode for like any challenge.
Yeah, I would say that's what they did do good. Like, in that sense of like, like you'd have to build like a car specifically for something that you probably wouldn't do before. So like really kind of push the creativity boundaries of like what I would normally build in the game. And then I'm like, oh man, this thing's actually like kind of fun and fun to drive. And so that is cool. But like you said, there was no like replayability of the game. It's like it gave you everything like right away. And it was like, oh yeah, here's your super rare Lamborghini that you're starting off with. Also, you played previous games, so here's 10 more hypercars. And it's like, okay.
Like a cheat code where but it's fun whenever like you just spin the wheel and like win stuff. Like it is good. Like I said, I do want to kind of fire it up again and just kind of like mess around with it, but I don't know. It's just they give you too much too fast, and that's what I have a problem with, I think, right now of like a lot of games. They give you so much right away. Yeah. And it's like, I don't know, give me a sense of progression.
Yeah, I know. The only grind to it is just to like get better. Yeah. And it's like, okay, well, I want to start with like my Cobalt again and get to a GTI and then to like a, maybe like a Skyline or something.
And make them feel different. Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing about like when I do a set of course of drifting, there's no unlocks or anything. It's like if I want a new car, I just go download it. But like there's never this carrot of like, oh, you can do it. It's just like fun driving.
Yeah, there's different variations. Like you have your simulators where it's just like I just want to learn something or I want to just like replicate real life, or there's like the things where like the games where I want to actually go accomplish like progression in this game or story that it's telling me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I think we went through a pretty good gamut.
Yeah, I mean, I know that people are going to be super pissed that we didn't talk about the Burnout series, but the only one that really matters is Burnout Paradise because it had a lot of cool demolition stuff. So
that was the only one I enjoyed.
Yep.
I think the other ones were cool, but like I never got sucked into them.
Yep.
Trying to think, people are going to get probably mad that we didn't talk about Twisted Metal, but that's not really a racing game.
Twisted Metal slaps.
Yeah, Twisted Metal's cool. I always thought that was like a badass like naughty game because like it's like
like all the cutscenes and stuff were like super dark.
Yeah, it was like very messed up.
Yeah, that game that's maybe for part 2 we need to talk about that because that game kind of.
I think when we talk about
game gave me nightmares.
Video games in general, you do that. Project Cars, it's cool, but it's not.
There's another one that like came out at like a weird time, and it was like almost trying too hard.
Yeah.
To be like the next Forza, and it was
fuck. One we did forget was Dirt, the Dirt series.
Oh man, Dirt's good too.
We're also in one of those games.
Yeah, Dirt 5.
Yeah.
Me and Dakota played the hell out of Dirt 5, and it actually is a really fun game.
Dirt, the Dirt series is good. I actually prefer the rally, like Dirt Rally.
Yeah, some more like the realistic stuff. Yeah,
but all those games are really good.
Yeah, Dirt 5 is super fun. Taycan, Porsche, whatever the hell, is way OP, at least the last time I played it.
Yeah.
It's like anyone had that, they won, so.
Crap, what's the game? Wreckfest, that's actually pretty fun.
Never played that one.
That's good. But there's a lot of games out there, like drop a comment.
Yeah, let us know if you want part 2. And let us know what we missed, because we're probably really oblivious to
because we have like our like section.
Yeah, I'm thinking like what games did I specifically play?
And there's so many games that aren't like popular that are cool.
Yeah.
Like I know there's a lot of games from Japan, like cool like not Formula Drift, like D1 like drifting games, stuff like that we just didn't really play or get access to easily over here.
It's weird. Usually we get everything from Japan that's super cool and awesome.
Yeah, they don't forget us at all.
So it's super weird that would happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, let us know down in the comments or just shoot us a message if you'd like to see a part 2 of this or a continuation of this episode. And then, of course, just let us know what games we missed or would like us to talk about. And ask us some questions, because we're going to put a little segment in the next episodes coming up of just answering your guys' questions. So in the meantime, if you're looking for some wheels, tires, or even suspension, you can check out AnoviaWheels.com. We've got some cool stuff coming, so stay tuned. Follow us on the socials. I'm Gels.
I'm Sam.
We'll see you in the next one. Peace.